Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Welcome to your May Tarot forecast. This is a little bit of a confusing energy because there's really two things happening here at the same time. And one of them looks good, like it's an expansion, it's new opportunities, there's new doors opening. And the other one looks like it's like other people's drama or plan or strategy or what they want, their goals. There's a little bit of conflict here. It's like, I don't know if, like, I feel like on some level, and for some of you, it could be like pretty serious. Like, it's like, this is like the last chance. For others, I feel like it's maybe not so serious, but it's something that needs, reflection. There's an energy here of you knowing that you are ready to move forward and you are getting close to deciding on what your next chapter looks like. But I feel like there are other people who maybe their next chapter looks a little bit different and you were thinking that you two were on the same page, but now it seems like you either need to adjust yourself or they need to adjust themselves, or both of you need to make adjustments so that you can figure out how to make this work. For some of you, it could be business. For some of you, for sure, this is a deeper connection. It could be family, friends, love, whatever. But the Lover's card was your first card out. Some of you could be dealing with a Gemini. I'm also hearing Sagittarius. But there's this overall energy, and I have the Cancer card here as well. It feels like someone is a little bit too stubborn. And I don't know if that's you or if that's the other person that you're dealing with. Or maybe it's your lover or your partner or your friend. Maybe they are dealing with another person who's really stubborn and you're just frustrated trying to support them, but they are stuck in this dynamic of some kind. So I don't know whose energy it is or where this is showing up, but it's like there are other opportunities coming. You have this Ace of Cups here. You have an Ace of Wands here. The Ace of Cups is reversed because it's like the invitation hasn't fully manifested yet, or you've heard about it, you've been invited, but it's not committed and moving forward. Now, that I think is what is frustrating for you because as a Capricorn, you are cardinal energy. You want to move forward. You want to get things going. And that Ace of Wands is like this rush of energy to move forward and to do something. But you've got both Scorpio cards here, both Scorpio cards. These are, strong Scorpio energies. And actually, this weekend, we have a Scorpio full moon, which is actually a focus on control and literally, my neck all of a sudden. Literally death and rebirth, rebuilding a structure that needs to come down. So this full moon in Scorpio, and you should watch the workshop, especially if you're like watching these readings and you're like, okay, this shit feels like it's my life. Then go and watch the workshop because watching these is not enough. We need to work with this energy. And this Scorpio full moon, like you have Scorpio energy here twice. There's also a 9 of Swords here energy. It's reversed, which I really like. But then we have this 10 of Cups, which is reversed, which is not bad because I feel like your values are changing and you're learning how to not get stuck in the mind and to actually just speak up more and be vulnerable and get out there and say what you need to say. But the underlining energy here is really about a death and a rebirth process. And I know we're always kind of experiencing shifts and, endings and new beginnings. That's just life in general. It's always a cycle that just never stops, letting go and starting again and whatever. And that's beautiful. But sometimes Capricorn, because you like control, you don't want to drop your routine or you don't want to drop that mental idea or perspective. It's a little bit challenging to challenge you sometimes. And that's fine because that's what I think actually makes you so successful in a lot of ways. It's you got that money, honey, you're moving forward, you're getting shit done and you're going. And that's because Capricorn's bitch, don't stop me, don't even try. But if another person has a good idea or good feedback, or they want to support you or they want to help you, sometimes you do yourself a disservice. It's not good for you to remain so independent and you're doing it. So I feel like maybe that's part of this perspective shift that's happening. And maybe, yes, it's a little bit challenging, but maybe some of you are just accepting it. You're going with with the flow and you're flexible and you're like, okay, fine. Like, obviously something here needs to change. I don't like that. I don't like change and I want to be in control. But if you actually have a better idea, then sure, let me see it. Oh shit, that's a good idea. Okay, how do I flow with that? You know what I mean? So figure out what is your ego, what is your mental interference, what is your issue, whatever. And like, we all have them, so don't beat yourself up over it. It's just like, I don't want you to miss an opportunity because you are so hard-headed, or maybe it's the other person that you are dealing with, and at some point, something's gotta give, you know? So it's like, it's either you two figure it out and it works, or you both go separate ways, and that's fine. But how much do you value this person, this connection, this job, this project? Like, are you willing to adjust yourself, or are they willing to adjust themselves? Like, can the both of you figure it out? That's the question. Now, I think yes, but I think it's important that like non-violent communication, like slow and steady growth and building, like strategy and negotiation. Like, there's a lot of things that need to happen here because there's two very different perspectives. For some of you, you could find that later on you're on the same page. You're like, okay, let's go for it. But now you're like, fuck. Where's the money coming from? How does the resources happen? Like, so we're thinking about how to actually make something happen now, which is fine. I think as long as you're in, yeah, some of you are collaborating with the wrong people, actually. Some of you, if you negotiate and you both get on the same page and you're like, okay, let's move through this and see what happens, I still think you should do that with a little bit of like caution. Not because you need to be ready to lose everything. Like, that's not what I'm saying. But there's definitely like, there's an energy here of collaboration, and maybe the two of you together need to fail so you can figure out what, you know, success looks like, and then you can actually reshift your goals and go for it. But I do think that someone is maybe a little bit too up in the fantasy world, and maybe that's where you are like trying to pull them back to reality and being like, this is a lot of work. Like, there is a 10 of Wands here with this 2 of Wands. So it's like, yes, the idea is beautiful. Yes, I see collaboration. Yes, I see possibility for partnership and expansion and all of those things. But I see a lot of work, okay? 8 of Coins. I see a lot of labor or responsibility. It seems a little bit like a heavy lift. And for me personally, I'm trying to not work like that anymore. So maybe it's also, maybe that's the perspective that needs to shift. It's like, okay, if we're going to collaborate, if we're going to go for this, let's do it. But let's figure out how to not allow this thing to drain everything we have. Like blood, sweat, tears, working 40, 50, 60 hours a week to just get it done. It's like, fuck that. That is such an outdated way of doing things. And it's like, don't allow yourself to, and maybe it's the other person now that I think about it, because the Capricorn is probably one who's like, you got to commit, you got to keep going, you got to just like go, go, go. And it's like, no, bitch, that's not the only way to work. We can find flow. We can find and do things with ease. You know what I mean? So I think that's what this full moon in Scorpio is actually trying to teach you, is that maybe there are parts of yourself that are still stuck in other timelines where you think you need to commit and give so much to find success. That part of you needs to be called back. You need to unbind yourself. You need to cut that cord to the belief system that everything has to be hard work. It's like, that's fucking done. It's literally an outdated paradigm. So now we are entering a new world, and it's like, we can do things easier. So how do we work with that energy? Now, I would strongly suggest doing your homework, okay? If you have $1, you can donate whatever you want for the full moon workshop. It's a 25-minute home video. If you're still here because this reading was matching your life or feeling like, okay, I should pay attention to what he's saying, then go and do your homework, okay? watch the full moon in Scorpio. It's a Scorpio full moon. This is a very powerful time for rebirth, resetting the mind, actually, because Scorpio is connected to the subconscious programs and the energies in the deep mind that actually influence our decision-making process. So this would be a very good time for you to purge and clear any old energies or belief systems that keep you thinking you need to work hard for your money. You don't have to do that anymore. And I know that's like, well, what do you mean? Trust me, you don't need to work like that anymore. You can access abundance in so many different ways. We just need to invite in that paradigm shift. So do it. Invite that in under this full moon in Scorpio, okay? You can click here. Sometimes this button is weird for some reason. So go onto my Instagram profile and you'll see my website in my profile. Click on that. You'll see the full moon in Scorpio. Watch the full moon workshop, okay? Do your homework. Go. And let me know if this was helpful. Leave me a comment. Send it to a friend. Share it on your Instagram story. I'll see you very soon, Capricorn. Go do your homework like now.